the semi-finals of the ATP finals in Turin, Italy, and the second semi-final, Jannik Sinner v Casper Ruud. Taylor Fritz in the final after winning quite the first semi-final v Alexander Zverev in 3 sets. Quite the third and final set in that match. And Taylor Fritz with a final set tiebreak, winning that for the final to play the winner of this semi-final, Jannik Sinner or Casper Ruud. And quite the fan base at this tournament. And the first service game of the match from Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with the first service game of the match in this semi-final. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve with a bit of depth. Casper Ruud with a forehand block return, and then Jannik Sinner strikes a backhand to the right with depth, and Casper Ruud with a return just out. So 15-love. That's the first point of the match. Jannik Sinner with a centre of the box serve. Casper Ruud returning, and then backhand to backhand. One shot each or so, and then forehand to forehand. Casper Ruud strikes a backhand to the right. Jannik Sinner turns a forehand with a bit of depth. Backhand to backhand. Forehand Casper Ruud struck with a bit of depth, and then backhand to backhand. And Casper Ruud strikes a backhand to the right, but just out. So 30-love. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, just out. So second serve on this point for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with a central serve. Backhand to backhand. Backhand size Casper Ruud. Then Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the right, and then backhand to backhand. Then Casper Ruud strikes forehand to the right with a bit of depth, and then Jannik Sinner returns with a forehand. But then Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the left with depth, and Jannik Sinner with a backhand return, but just hits the net. So 30-15. Jannik Sinner with a centre of the box serve, and then backhand to backhand, then a backhand slice from Casper Ruud just after that, just out. So 40-15. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, hits top of net and a bit out. So second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner, central serve with a bit of depth and backhand return Casper Ruud, and Ruud rather, then Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the right and Casper Ruud returns, but then further forward Jannik Sinner strikes a backhand to the left with depth. Casper Ruud with a bit on the ball but can't get the ball much further, and that's the first service game of the match, maintained by Jannik Sinner. So Casper Ruud service game. Casper Ruud with a serve to the centre, and then backhand to backhand, and Jannik Sinner strikes forehand to the right. Then Casper Ruud with a forehand return to the left after that, just out. So love 15. Casper Ruud with a central box serve, and Jannik Sinner forehand return, but then Casper Ruud strikes forehand to the right depth. Jannik Sinner returns, and then Casper Ruud further forward strikes a forehand to the right, and it's a winner. 15-all. Casper Ruud with a central serve, just hits the net, so second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a central of the box serve, Jannik Sinner backhand return with depth, and then Casper Ruud with a forehand shot to the right, a bit out after a return with depth from Jannik Sinner, so 15-30. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth, Jannik Sinner forehand return, forehand, and a second forehand with depth from Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud backhand, Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to left, Casper Ruud returns, and then backhand to backhand, and then forehand to forehand, and then backhand to backhand, and then Jannik Sinner strikes forehand to the left, but then backhand to backhand, and then backhand slice Casper Ruud, and Jannik Sinner strikes forehand to the right, and then forehand, then another forehand Jannik Sinner, backhand slice Casper Ruud. Jannik Sinner forehand, Casper Ruud backhand, and forehand drop shots left by Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud onto it with a backhand slice, and a forehand lob from Jannik Sinner, and it's in, and it's a winner. Well, Jannik Sinner with a forehand drop shots left, Casper Ruud onto it with a backhand slice, but then Jannik Sinner with a forehand lob on the next shot to the left, and a winner with that shot. After a 26-shot rally, and it's 2 break points for Jannik Sinner, 15-40. Casper Ruud, the centre of the box serve, Jannik Sinner forehand return with depth, and then Casper Ruud returns, then a forehand struck to the right by Jannik Sinner with depth, and Casper Ruud with a bit of forehand racket on it, but can't get the ball much further, and Jannik Sinner leads with a breaker serve in the first set. So Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner leading the first set of a breaker serve. Jannik Sinner with a central serve just out, so second serve on this point for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with a central box serve, and Casper Ruud with backhand return, a bit of depth, backhand to backhand. Of 2 backhand shots each, 3 backhand shots each, and Casper Ruud with a forehand to left just hits the net. So 15-love. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, bit of depth, Casper Ruud backhand block return, and then Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the right, just out. So 15-all. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, and it's an ace. Serve with depth from Jannik Sinner to the centre, and an ace. 30-15. Jannik Sinner with a central serve of depth. Casper with a forehand block return, and Jannik Sinner a bit further forward strikes a forehand to the left with depth, and Casper backhand return to the left after that is a bit out. So 40-15. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve of depth. Casper with forehand block return and further forward. Jannik Sinner strikes forehand to the left with depth, and Casper with backhand lob return. But then an overhead smash to the left, further forward from Jannik Sinner, and it's a winner. Three games to love rather in the first set to Jannik Sinner, with breaker serve lead maintained. So Casper Ruud service game. Jannik Sinner with a breaker serve lead in the first set. Casper Ruud with a wide serve, just out. So second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with a central serve and then backhand to backhand, and Casper Ruud strikes a backhand to the right with depth, and Jannik Sinner with a forehand slice return to the centre, just out, after a backhand struck to the right with depth from Casper Ruud. So 15-love. Casper Ruud with a central serve, just out, so second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a wide serve, and then Jannik Sinner with a backhand return to the right, just hits the net. So 30-love. Casper Ruud with a wide serve of depth. Jannik Sinner with a forehand return, and Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. 40 love. Casper Ruud with a central serve, and Jannik Sinner's forehand return, and Casper Ruud strikes one with depth to the right. Jannik Sinner returns and further forward. Casper Ruud strikes another forehand to the right with depth, and then with Casper Ruud at the net, Jannik Sinner hits a forehand passing shot to the left, just out. So break a serve lead for Jannik Sinner in the first set at 3-1 to Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, and it's an ace. 15 love. Two aces in the match at this point, both from Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve just out, so second serve on this point for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with a centre of the box serve, and Casper Ruud with a backhand return hits the top of the net and just drops over the net, and it's a winner. So 15 all. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, Casper Ruud forehand block return, and then backhand to backhand. Second backhand, Jannik Sinner, and Casper Ruud strikes forehand, and Jannik Sinner strikes a backhand return. After a Casper Ruud return, it's forehand, and Jannik Sinner with a backhand return from a Casper Ruud forehand, but just hits the net. So 15-30 rather, so 15-30. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, just out. Jannik Sinner, the centre of the box serve, and then backhand to backhand. And second backhand struck by Casper Ruud, forehand return Jannik Sinner, and then backhand to backhand, second backhand from Casper Ruud. But then Jannik Sinner strikes forehand to left, Casper Ruud with a forehand return. And forehand Jannik Sinner, backhand slice Casper Ruud, forehand Jannik Sinner. Slice backhand Casper Ruud, and then Casper Ruud, after a Jannik Sinner return, strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. Casper Ruud strikes a winner to the left with a forehand, and it's 15-40 and 2 break points for Casper Ruud. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, just hits net. So second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner with a central serve. Casper Ruud with a backhand block return. Further forward, Jannik Sinner strikes the backhand. Casper Ruud returns. And then after a shot or so, Casper Ruud with a backhand lob return and then a bit of a forehand volley shots left by Jannik Sinner just by net, 30-40. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, just hits the net. Casper Ruud with a centre box serve, and then backhand to backhand. Backhand slice turn from Casper Ruud onto it with fine slice, Jannik Sinner. And then Jannik Sinner at net, and Casper Ruud hits a backhand passing shot to the left, just out. So 30-40. So Juice, Jannik Sinner with a central serve, just hits net. So second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve with a bit of depth, and Casper Ruud with a forehand return, just out. So an add point for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, and then forehand to forehand. And Casper Ruud with a second forehand. Jannik Sinner backhand, backhand to backhand. And then forehand to forehand, and backhand to backhand of about 2 shots each, and then forehand to forehand. And Jannik Sinner with a forehand to the right just hits the net. So 30-15. Juice rather. Yeah, 3 games to 1 to Jannik Sinner with a break serve, and Juice on this Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner with a serve to the centre with depth, and Casper Ruud with a backhand block return to the right just out, so add a point for Jannik Sinner on this next point. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve with depth. Casper Ruud backhand block return further forward. Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the left with depth, and Casper Ruud with a bit on the ball but can't get the ball much further. Breaker serve lead maintained for Jannik Sinner, and it's 4 games to 1 to Jannik Sinner in this first set with a breaker serve lead for Jannik Sinner. Oh dear. Casper Ruud service game. Jannik Sinner A breaker serve lead in the first set at 4-1 to Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud with a wide serve with depth, and then forehand. And Casper Ruud's forehand just hits the net, so love 15. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth, and then forehand, and then second forehand Jannik Sinner, 2 forehand shots each, and then backhand return Jannik Sinner, forehand Casper Ruud, backhand Jannik Sinner, and then Casper Ruud with forehand to left with depth, and then forehand to forehand, and then a second forehand struck to right with depth from Casper Ruud. Jannik Sinner returns, and a forehand slice to left from Casper Ruud. Jannik Sinner returns, and a forehand drop shot to left from Casper Ruud, just hits the net. And it's love 30. Casper Ruud with a wide serve just hits the net, so second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a central serve. Jannik Sinner strikes a backhand return with depth. Backhand Casper Ruud, then backhand strikes left with depth by Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud returns, and Jannik Sinner strikes wide with depth. Casper Ruud returns, and volley from Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud with a backhand return, but Jannik Sinner at the net with a backhand volley to the right, and it's a winner. Love 40, and 3 break points for another break of serve potentially in this first set for Jannik Sinner. Love 40, 3 break points. Casper Ruud with the centre of the box serve. Jannik Sinner forehand return with depth, and Casper Ruud returns, and forehand Jannik Sinner. And Casper Ruud with a side shot return, and forehand Jannik Sinner, and then backhand to backhand of 2 backhand shots each, and a second backhand of Jannik Sinner. It's struck with depth to the right, and it's a winner. And Jannik Sinner with a double breaker serve lead in the first set at 5-1 to Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner with a centre of the box serve with depth. Casper Ruud with a block return, and forehand Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud returns, and forehand to forehand. And Casper Ruud's forehand to left hit, stop in there, and then a bit out. So 15 love. Jannik Sinner with a central serve just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner, centre of the box serve, and then backhand to backhand. And Jannik Sinner's backhand to the right, struck with a bit of depth, and Casper Ruud with a forehand side shot return just hits the net, so 30 love. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, hits top net a bit, so another serve at least on this point. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner with a centre of the box serve, and Casper Ruud forehand return, backhand Jannik Sinner. And then Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. So 30-15. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve depth. Casper Ruud backhand block return. Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the right with depth from Casper Ruud. Returns, but then out of the net, Jannik Sinner with a forehand volley on the next shot of the net, with a forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner. Finishes the point, and 2 set points for potentially a 1-set-to-love lead in this semi-final for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner with a central serve just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner with a central serve with depth from Casper, backhand block return of bit of a forehand drop shot to left by Jannik Sinner, and Casper Ruud onto it with a backhand shot to left, but just out, and that's game and first set. Jannik Sinner by 6-1, and Jannik Sinner leads this semi-final by 1-set-to-love. So start the second set, and Casper Ruud service game at the start of the second set. Casper Ruud with a central serve, and then backhand to backhand of 2 backhand shots each. And a third backhand from Jannik Sinner to the left just hits the net, so 15-love. Casper Ruud with a central serve just out, so second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a centre of the box serve, and Jannik Sinner with backhand return with depth, and Casper Ruud forehand, and Jannik Sinner returns, then forehand to forehand of 2 forehand shots each. And the second forehand from Jannik Sinner struck to the left with depth, and Casper Ruud returns it, but just out. So 15-all. Casper Ruud with a central serve and an ace. So 30-15. Casper Ruud with a wide serve, and then Jannik Sinner with a backhand return to left just out. After a serve with a bit of depth from Casper Ruud with a wide serve, so 40-15. Casper Ruud with the centre of the box serve, and then Jannik Sinner returns. Casper Ruud forehand, Jannik Sinner backhand, Casper Ruud forehand, Jannik Sinner strikes a backhand to the right, but just out. So that service game maintained for Casper Ruud at the start of the second set. Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner with a serve to the centre, just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner with a serve to the centre, a bit of depth, and then Casper Ruud with a backhand return, just hits the net, so 15-love. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve with depth from Casper Ruud with a backhand return to the left, just out. After a wide serve with depth from Jannik Sinner, so 30-love. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, just hits the net, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner, the centre of the box serve, bit of depth, and then Casper Ruud backhand return, bit of depth, and then forehand to forehand. Casper Ruud strikes one to the right with a bit of depth, and Jannik Sinner returns. But then Casper Ruud strikes another forehand to the right, and it's a winner. So 30-15. Jannik Sinner, central serve with depth. Casper Ruud with a forehand block return, can't get the ball much further. After a serve with depth from Jannik Sinner to the centre, so 40-15. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, just out, so second serve for Jannik Sinner on this point. Jannik Sinner reserves to centre of the box with depth from Casper Ruud with a backhand return to the right, just out. After a serve with depth from Jannik Sinner to the centre of the box. And serve maintained, so one game all on serve in the second set. Casper Ruud with a serve to the centre of the box, so a bit of depth from Jannik Sinner, back out 10. Casper Ruud with forehand, struck with depth, and Jannik Sinner returns. But then Casper Ruud at the net with a forehand volley to the right, and it's a winner. So 15-love. Casper Ruud with a serve to the centre of the box, just hits the net. So second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth, and Jannik Sinner's forehand return just hits the net. So 30-love after a serve with depth to the centre from Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with wide serve just out. So second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with a central serve, and Jannik Sinner with a backhand return, and then Casper Ruud with a forehand a bit out. So 30-15. Casper Ruud with a wide serve just out. So second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a wide serve. Jannik Sinner's backhand return a bit of depth, and then forehand to forehand. And then after the next two shots or so, shot from Casper Ruud just out, so 30-all. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth. And Jannik Sinner with a backhand block return a bit out after a serve with depth to the centre from Casper Ruud. So 40-30. Casper Ruud, the central serve with depth, and then forehand to forehand. And second forehand from Casper Ruud, struck to the right with depth, and Jannik Sinner returns. And then further forward, Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. And that service game maintained. So 2-1 to Casper Ruud on serve in the second set. Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner. Jannik. Jannik Sinner service game. And Casper Ruud just won a point, so love 15. Jannik Sinner. Essential serve with depth. Casper Ruud forehand block return and forehand Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud returns and forehand to forehand. And then Jannik Sinner forehand. Casper Ruud forehand. After 2 forehand shots each, Jannik Sinner strikes a third forehand to the right, but just out. So love 30. Jannik Sinner essential serve with depth and Casper Ruud with a backhand block return just out after a central serve with depth from Jannik Sinner, so 15-30. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve and an ace, so 30 all. Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner. Second serve on this point after a central serve just out. So second serve Jannik Sinner to central, a bit of depth, and then forehand to forehand. 2 forehand shots each, and the second forehand from Jannik Sinner is struck to the right, and it's a winner. So 40-30. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, hits the top of the net a bit. So another serve at least on this point for Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner. A wide serve, and it's an ace. So that service game maintained. So on serve in the second set at 2 games all. Casper Ruud service game. Casper Ruud with wide serve just out. So second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud, the wide serve. And Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand return winner ace to the right. Returning that serve from Casper Ruud. Love 15. Forehand return winner ace. Struck by Jannik Sinner. Returning a Casper Ruud serve. Love 15. So Casper Ruud service game, 15:30. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth just out, so second serve on this point for Casper Ruud, and Casper Ruud with a central box serve with depth. Jannik Sinner backhand return with depth, and forehand, second forehand Casper Ruud, second forehand Jannik Sinner, bit of depth forehand Casper Ruud, and then Jannik Sinner backhand to Casper Ruud backhand, second backhand Jannik Sinner with a bit of depth, and then forehand, and then Casper Ruud backhand slice, and Jannik Sinner forehand Casper Ruud backhand, and then Jannik Sinner strikes her forehand to the left, and it's a winner. 15:40 and 2 break points for Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud with a wide serve with depth. Jannik Sinner forehand return with depth, but just out. So 30-40. Casper Ruud with a centre of the box serve with depth, and Jannik Sinner with backhand return. Casper Ruud further forward, strikes a forehand to the left, and then with Casper Ruud at the net, Jannik Sinner with a backhand return, shot to the left, but just hits the net, so deuce. Casper Ruud with a wide serve, just hits the net, so second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with a centre of the box serve, and then Jannik Sinner with a backhand return, and Casper Ruud strikes a backhand to left with depth, and Jannik Sinner returns, and then further forward, Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the left, but just hits the net, so an ad point for Jannik Sinner and a break point. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth, and Jannik Sinner with a bit of forehand on it, but can't get the ball much further after a serve with depth to the centre from Casper Ruud, so deuce. Casper Ruud with a serve to the centre with depth just out, so second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a central serve, and then backhand to backhand, and then forehand to forehand. Second forehand Jannik Sinner, second forehand Casper Ruud, and then backhand to backhand. And then Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the left with a bit of depth, and then Casper Ruud returns with forehand struck to the right with depth, and then backhand to backhand, second Jannik Sinner backhand, and then forehand to forehand, and then Casper Ruud strikes a second forehand to the right with depth, and Jannik Sinner with a forehand slice return, and then at the net, Casper Ruud with a forehand slice shot to the left, but just out. And it's another break point for Jannik Sinner. Break point, Jannik Sinner. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth just out, so second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with serves to centre the box with depth, but Jannik Sinner forehand return, and Casper Ruud backhand, then a forehand struck to left with depth by Jannik Sinner, and Casper Ruud with a forehand return to the left, but just out after a forehand struck to left with depth from Jannik Sinner, and Jannik Sinner leads with a set and a break. Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner service game, and Jannik Sinner just served his fifth ace of the match, so 15 love. 5 aces for Jannik Sinner in this match from serves, 1 for Casper Ruud. 15 love on this Jannik Sinner service game. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner leads by a set and a break. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve, and then backhand to backhand. Second backhand from Casper Ruud, struck with depth. Jannik Sinner with a forehand return, and a forehand struck to the right with depth from Casper Ruud further forward, and Casper Ruud at the net, and Jannik Sinner with a backhand passing shot to the right just out, so 15 all. After a backhand and then a forehand to the right, both struck with depth on both of those shots from Casper Ruud. Jannik Sinner, a wide serve just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner, a wide serve with depth. Casper Ruud with a forehand return, then further forward. Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. 30-15. Sixteen winners in this match from shots for Jannik Sinner, 9 for Casper Ruud. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve and an ace, so 40-15. Jannik Sinner a central serve with depth, but Casper returns to a backhand with depth, and then Jannik Sinner returns the shot, but just out. So 40-30. Jannik Sinner with a wide serve and an ace to maintain that service game, and Jannik Sinner maintains the set and a break lead. Casper Ruud with a central serve just out, so second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with a central serve, Jannik Sinner backhand return, and Casper Ruud with forehand with depth, and Jannik Sinner forehand return, and Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the right, but just out, so love 15. Casper Ruud with a central serve with depth, and then backhand to backhand, but Casper Ruud's backhand is a bit out, so love 30. Casper Ruud with a serve to the centre of the box, just hits the net. So second serve on this point for Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud with a wide serve, Jannik Sinner forehand return, and Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the right with depth, and Jannik Sinner with a lob return, and Casper Ruud with an overhead smash, and Jannik Sinner returns with a lob shot, and then Jannik Sinner returns with a forehand shot, and Casper Ruud strikes a forehand to the right with depth, and Jannik Sinner returns that, and then on the next shot, Casper Ruud with a backhand volley to the left, and it's a winner. 15-30, but Jannik Sinner returned two overhead smashes in a row and a forehand, and then Casper Ruud with the fourth of the shots finished it with a backhand volley at the net. So 15-30. Casper Ruud with a serve to the centre of the box, just out. So second serve on this point. Casper Ruud with a centre of the box serve, and then backhand to backhand, and Casper Ruud's backhand to the right is just out. So 15-40, and 2 break points for potentially maybe another breaker serve for Jannik Sinner in this set, and it potentially be a breaker serve for close to winning this semi-final to play Taylor Fritz in the final of the ATP finals, potentially. Casper Ruud with a wide serve, but Jannik Sinner with a forehand return ace winner off that Casper Ruud serve, and Jannik Sinner with another break in this second set, and Jannik Sinner leads 6-1, 5-2. Jannik Sinner. Jannik Sinner service game, and Jannik Sinner just served an ace to the centre. So 15 love. Jannik Sinner leads 6-1, 5-2. Jannik Sinner potentially one more service game maintained from the final of the ATP finals. Jannik Sinner, the wide serve, a bit of depth. Casper returns, and Jannik Sinner strikes one to the right, a bit of depth. Backhand side turn from Casper, and then further forward, just by the net, Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. 30 love. And Jannik Sinner potentially maintaining a level for the final of the ATP finals, potentially to play Taylor Fritz in the final tomorrow. Jannik Sinner with a central serve just out, so second serve on this point. Jannik Sinner, the central serve. Casper backhand turn and backhand slice. Jannik Sinner, and then Casper strikes one to the right with depth, and Jannik Sinner forehand return, and Casper strikes one to the left with depth, and then backhand return with depth from Jannik Sinner. Casper returns, but then Jannik Sinner strikes a forehand to the left, and it's a winner. 40 love and 3 match points potentially for the final of the ATP finals for tomorrow. For Jannik Sinner to play Taylor Fritz tomorrow potentially. 3 match points, 40 love. Jannik Sinner with a central serve, and it's an ace. Game, set and match, Jannik Sinner by 2 sets to love, 6-1, 6-2. Jannik Sinner maintains a level, and tomorrow's final of the ATP finals is Jannik Sinner v Taylor Fritz.